And David, can I ask you a question regarding translation, which is a question that we usually ask. So for you, what is lost in translation and what is gained in translation? Just a basic question, right?
For me or for David?
For David.
I think I can answer that.
I think
What is
Mia
lost
could
is
also
what is lost in translation? I'm sure a lot is lost in translation.
Mia's take on it would be also excellent.
I'm sure what is lost in translation is some of the poetic qualities, some of the neologisms that can't be reflected in English, or that are skipped over, conveniently forgotten. On the other hand, sometimes you get it exactly right. You know, you think, that's it. It's like scoring a goal. You know, it's like the ball hitting the back of the net. So that is a gain, if you like. And for me, the biggest gain is making this rich, poetic Portuguese available in English with all its shortcomings and failings. And if the review is good in English, then I've done my work to some extent. I've been faithful to Mia.
Eu tenho que dizer uma coisa que não é por simpatia, mas
I have to say something, and it's not out of admiration. You know, working with David has been a gift in my literary life. There is a sensibility. Translators like David, they are co-authors. They are the authors of the book in another language. I've said this to publishers, but I cannot make these decisions myself. I think the name of the translator should be on the cover as a co-author. And I'm very grateful. English is not more important than other languages, but English transports literature around the world. So having a translator that is so skilled, you know, a translator can destroy a book, a good book. A translator can build a book from a poor original. It's a dialogue between David and myself. And this enriches a book in English. Certainly it does. Do you work in close partnership, Mia? Do you read the translation? Do you make comments? Do you disagree on some choices? I disagree. It's very rare that I disagree. David asked me several questions by email, and I realize that he finds the solutions himself. Whenever there's something more complicated, sometimes it's even hard to explain. I think I make his life harder when I try to explain. And also, I have no competence, you know, to produce myself, you know, a sound comment. It seems that the book has become more beautiful after it's translated. The two of you are amazing, I have to say. I usually send a list of questions, you know, of my doubts and some possible alternatives, and Mia always answers. Sometimes it takes a while because he's traveling, but he has always been very helpful. So it's a partnership. Something I would like to say is the following. Mia, maybe he's not even aware of that. He was my best English teacher. And my best American English teacher, because I've been working with US publishers. And as you know, between Portugal and Brazil, you share the same language, and it's the same thing with English. Someone asked a question about this. Someone talked about a part of the book where the writer and the hunter, they're having a conversation, and the hunter says, Gustavo would shoot his mouth off. Well, in Portuguese, I think it was Gustavo falava pelos cotovelos, or something along these lines. And I translated this by Gustavo talk 19 to the dozen. We have to bear in mind that we have copy editors for translations, and the copy editor, he made a comment. That's too British.
Talk 19 to the dozen, em americano.
I've searched for this expression in US English, and I found he talks a blue streak. I had never heard this expression in my life before, this US expression. Once I was in the US, and I explained this problem. And I was talking to someone, he said, yeah, he talks a blue streak. Yes. However, I had decided that Gustavo was more, he shot his mouth off figure. That was more like him.
He shot his mouth off.
So that was my choice. He shot his mouth off. So I escaped the blue streak. But because of that expression, I moved from an idiomatic British English to an idiomatic US or American English, something that is accepted in both sides of the Atlantic. So Mia, he teaches me English without even being aware of that. And it has happened many times.